Folks, most new businesses fail, and by some estimates, as many as 90% after just a few years. Now, how can you avoid being part of this sad statistic? Well, in Lean Startup, Eric Ries maps out what he sees as the main reason startups fail. Too much planning. It makes total sense. Starting a business is not like writing your will. You can't plan your way into it. See, you don't know what people want or what they're willing to buy until you put something in front of them and see how they respond. And you can't do any of that by planning your business in front of your laptop. So the Lean model recommends a little bit of planning, but launching your idea early to test it. After launching, learn and improve. This commitment to iteration and learning is at the heart of the Lean model. Now, Lean Startup was written mostly for tech. I know, but the principles don't just apply to a tech startup. You can equally apply them to a services and consulting business. In fact, the Lean Startup approach can be even more powerful for consulting and service businesses. Why? Because you can launch, test, and pivot a service much more quickly than a digital or a physical product. In 2003, my business partner and I started a web design agency. At one point, we had an idea, what Eric Ries would call a hypothesis, that a website owner would be very interested in knowing how their website was performing in terms of traffic, engagement, and lead capture. So we began adding some basic web analytics reports to our web design packages. These basic add-ons were our MVP, minimal viable product, or in our case, MVS, minimum viable service. Turns out our clients loved those reports. In fact, they were more excited about seeing the website's performance than the web design itself. My partner and I understood that this add-on to our main service could become the whole business, a business that was more specialized with higher potential profitability. So we pivoted. In Lean Startup terms, this was a zoom-in pivot where a single feature becomes your main offering. We went on to develop this business into one of the leading Google Analytics certified partners worldwide and sold that business to global media giant Dentsu in 2019 for 8 figures. I now advise new founders across a wide range of businesses. Just so we're clear, you do need some planning before launching a business. Conduct some audience research, vet your business idea, and write a brief business plan. Notice I said a brief business plan, not a 60-page document. You need to start with at least a few stakes in the ground. Point is, don't get stuck in planning mode. As soon as you have a reasonable hypothesis about a market need that you can meet, package the service without too much fuss and go out and network, speak, socialize, market, and sell. Now, of course, carefully consider feedback, iterate, and stay open to signals that you should make a bigger pivot. Your long-term business success will always depend on learning and change. If you're interested in hearing about how 2 co-founders pivoted and landed Meta as a client, check out my conversation with them in this video here.